Dear learners, welcome back to the engines and transmission systems topic. Now today we are going to see the new model, which is clutch and gearbox, which is connected to transmission systems. Once again, I am Dr. R. Venkatachalam, Professor, KSR College of Engineering. Once again, I welcome you all for this wonderful session. Today's presentation content is requirement of transmission system, types of clutches, single plate clutch, multi-plate clutch, gearbox, sliding mesh gearbox, constant mesh gearbox, conclusion. So requirement of transmission system. So transmission system is required to transmit the power from the engine to wheels with proper requirement torque as well as speed. So this is the requirement of transmission system. It needs to connect and disconnect the engine to run smoothly and change speed and torque ratios and allow different wheel speeds. So during the driving condition, we need to overcome different driving natures, maybe slow speed, medium speed, high speed, as well as low gear ratio, high gear ratio. Like that, a driver can offer different operating conditions during the driving. So this should be met by the transmission system. This is the basic requirement of transmission system. Then introduction in the transmission system, the first component is clutch. So now we are seeing the clutch and types of clutches after that. Clutch is a mechanical device which is used to engage and disengage power transmission between the engine and gearbox. So whenever we need to change the gear ratio by shifting the gear rod, it's supposed to be disengaged from the transmission. Then it should be engaged after shifting the gears to get the different gear ratios. Here the types of clutches: single plate clutch, multi-plate clutch, diaphragm clutch, cone clutch, centrifugal clutch, hydraulic clutch are the types of clutches. So single plate clutch, so it has only one plate, that is friction lining will be there, spring will be with load is there, then pressure plate is there, the pedal which is pressed by the driver is given, then flywheel is there, driving shaft is there. If you press the pedal, that will disengage the plate from the flywheel, then the rotation will be idle. Whenever the gear is shifted, then the pedal will be released, so that time it will get engaged. A single plate clutch is a mechanical device used in vehicles to engage and disengage the engine from the gearbox. It transmits power from the engine to transmission using one friction plate. That is why it is called as single plate clutch. Similarly, we have multi-plate clutch. This clutch is a clutch that uses two or more friction plates and steel plates to transmit power from engine to the gearbox. It provides higher torque transmission than a single plate clutch and is commonly used in motorcycles, racing cars, heavy vehicles and automatic transmissions. So multi-plate clutch has multiple plates that offers high friction, so the transmission loss will be very less. So you can see the figure how it is arranged. Then introduction to gearbox. Then types of gearboxes, that's what we are going to see now. A gearbox is a mechanical device used in automobiles to transmit power from the engine to the driving wheels while providing different speed and torque ratios. It allows the vehicle to operate efficiently under various driving conditions by changing the gear ratio between the engine and the wheels. So types of gearbox here is sliding mesh gearbox, constant mesh gearbox, synchro mesh gearbox, automatic gearbox, continuously variable transmission, CVT gearbox, then dual clutch transmission, DCT gearbox. So sliding mesh gearbox, in the name itself you can say that it can be slided over the shaft. So that clutch will engage, disengage, then the output shaft is there, then we have input shaft. So different gears are arranged here, so that is, you can find the red arrow that how the power is transmitted from the input shaft to output shaft. So input shaft fitted with clutch gear, that clutch gear may be engaged when disengaged during the pedal pressing. A sliding mesh gearbox is the simplest type of manual gearbox in which the gears on the main shaft slide to engage directly with the corresponding gears on the lay shaft. It was widely used in early automobiles and tractors. Constant mesh gearbox. The meshing is constant. So, manual gearbox in which all the gears on the main shaft and lay shaft remain in constant mesh. Gear engagement is achieved by dog clutches will be used to achieve the changing of gears rather than by sliding the gears themselves. This results in smoother operation and reduced gear wear compared to a sliding mesh gearbox. So first gear, second gear, lower gear, reverse gear, everything is arranged. There is a sliding dog clutch that will engage the gears to shift or gears to mesh. So for conclusion, so students should understand the construction and working principle of different types of clutches and gearboxes used in automobiles, the learned functions of the transmission system and the need for various gear ratios in vehicle operation. The working of sliding mesh, constant mesh and synchro mesh gearbox was explained with their advantages and applications. This knowledge may help you to understand efficient power transmission, smooth gear shifting and improved vehicle performances. So with this, we will meet again with the new topics. Thanks for watching. Thank you all once again.